Hi everyone, welcome to my channel, continuing our series SNCF 317. Today's lecture will be about the objects, and the first type of object is network object. Uh, all our time when we are working with firewalls in general, we are working with objects. Objects is a network. Objects can be geolocation, objects can be DNS sinkhole. Object can be like anything you will apply it in the access control policy. In the inner pages, it's objects. Great. So let's talk about the first type is a network object. Before going to network object, let's discuss what happened in the topology that we have. So here, I added for you another site, and I told you I will not talk about it right now in details because I want to make site-to-site VPN in another video. But what I did, I cheated here. I just put one cable. Why? Just I want the FMC to know that there are a new FTDM, new FTDs, and I give it IP address from the same range, but I give it 192.168.100.5, and this is .6. So the FMC is .2, the gateway here it was .1, the management .10, the first firewall is .3, .4, and this is .5, .6. And I did the initial configuration, so let's see if the FMC can see it or not. Let's go, where's my here? Okay. So in the devices, great. So let me add device 192.168.100.5, and this is, we will name it FTD BR1, means branch 1. Let's say it active. Registration key, I put it the same, admin 123. Group, no, not inside the group. Access control policy, give it the default policy for the now being. Put malware, threat, URL filtering. Okay, and try to register. And I will leave it until it's trying to register. So why I'm doing that? Because there is now in the network object, there is something required from me to have another site. So I don't want it to be as a theory. I want to make it like technical. So let's see here, what are the VLANs we have? The same we have here, VLAN 10 and VLAN 20. Here we have VLAN 10, 20, 30, 40, okay? But VLAN 10 and VLAN 20, of course, it has to be different subnets. So I made it 188.188.10.0 and VLAN 20, 188.188.20.0. Okay, and VLAN 10 for here is 192.168.10, and VLAN 20, 192.168.20. Great. So let's go to okay, I cannot do anything unless it's adding the device. So let me pause the video before going to the devices. So great, FTD branch 1 active is added. So now I have 3 firewalls here. This is 2 belong to HA, and this is 1 belong to, belong to another thing. Great. So let's go to objects. Inside the object, I have 2 types, object management and intrusion rules. Leave the intrusion rules aside and concentrate with me with the object management, because object management has a lot of features to talk. So it will be like several videos to cover up all the objects. Great. So now the problem is my environment is very slow because I'm turning on many devices. Great. So I think it's hanged. Well, Again, I'm here in the objects. When you open the objects, automatically the default tab will be the network. So in the network, you will find here pre-configured some networks here like any, the one that we all the time we are using blindly. So this is any, or you have any. It's actually preferred for group. The type is a group, and it's for IP version 6 and IP version 4. There is any IP version 4 only, so it's only that, and some other networks that I don't care about it. Now, why we should use network? Wait, our course is security. What we are doing is allow any. This is actually not good at all, and you are not a proper security engineer. You have to study your infrastructure, and you have to design what? Design the flow as per your business need. For example, now I have here VLAN 10, VLAN 20, and okay, the server and the DMZ, and here in the VLAN 4. Suppose that I want VLAN 10 to go to the internet, and VLAN 20, I don't want it to go to the internet. So how can I do that? For a purpose. So here, automatically, I will come and I will create an object. So here it will be add an object. So let's say I want to name it VLAN 10 object or VLAN 10, depends to you. Now, in the network here, you have 4 types: host, range, network, FQDN. Host, if you want an action to be for a specific host. For example, here in our topology, we have like this PC in VLAN 20, right? But its IP address is 192.168.20.10. So if I want to make this for 20.10, so I will make it. If I have a range, I want to apply the range. Like what? So here the range, we said that if I have, like, for example, in VLAN 10, I have several PCs like 10, 11, 12, 13, and I want to do an action on these, so I can put the range. We have also network. Then I can block, if I want to block or allow VLAN 20, like 192.168.20.0, then I can do an action on the network itself. FQDN actually is a fully qualified domain name that suppose that this server, this has a static IP address. Okay, it's not by DHCP like these computers. So, and it has a name for this server. So, if I want to make an action based on the name, yes, I can do that. But you have to make sure that he has fixed like. Or sorry, no, if you can, okay, if you have, like, for example, this PC or any, like what the reason came from the FQDN, if you have this dynamic IP address, so this dynamic IP address can change frequently the minute you restart the PC. So what will be happening is I will put a rule based on the PC name, because I want this PC to have a specific action. For example, to not go from this, or to not go for inspection, whatever. So let's try here to make a VLAN object. So I'm making VLAN object and I want to make it per network. So it will be 192.168.10.0/24. Allow override. Actually, this is an amazing option that FMC has. What does this mean? When I press allowed option, and here there is override, so it will tell you add override. So I will add override. What will be happening is I will give VLAN 10 the IP address of this VLAN 10. For example, in the VLAN 10, the first thing I give it 192.168.1.10.0, and VLAN 10 in my other website, my other site has 188.188.10.0. So I can put them in one object, and I will apply it. I will tell FMC will tell, okay, 192.168.10.0 for this firewall, and 192.168.188.188.10.0 for this firewall. So it will applying the same rules but for different networks. Let's see what will be happening here. So here, FTD branch 1 active. Great. So click add. Sorry, I have slowness because so many nodes are working. Okay. So what will be happening here is 192.168. Okay, no, this is not for this website. I'm sorry, not for this branch. For FTD branch, so it will be 188 for the new branch. .10.0 exactly. Okay. Add. Another add here for HQ. So see what happened. For HQ high availability that have two routers here, so VLAN 192.168.10.0, this is my VLAN 10, and in the FTD branch 1 active, the new branch that I have, 188.188.10.0, it's associated for VLAN 10. So imagine the beauty of this option. What if, like I have in the both sites, VLAN 10 will be having like the same rules. So why should I create two rules rather than I create one rule and I will put override for them? So yes, it's amazing. Save. So just let me switch off some device, like for example the standby now I don't want it, then I will save 8 GB RAM, and this firewall I'm not using, so also I will make it off. For the time being this PC I'm not using it, so I will save 4 GB RAM. What else I don't need? For the time being is fine. So here in the search, if you can see like VLAN 10, then I have this object right now, VLAN 10, and the override is on. So I can create another one without override if you want. So it will be VLAN 20 object. So it will be, if you want it like as a range, okay, so 192.168.20.10 dash 192.168.20 let's say 20. So from 10 to 20 I want to block, even though I can do allow override for it, but I will not do. Invalid IP address range. The start address has to be less than the end address. What's wrong? 192.168.20 192.168.20 sorry. So here the 10 addresses will be having an action, either block or and C override is not lighting up. So let's go to deploy and deploy it and try to apply it in the policy, because I will change the structure of the policy that we have. So here, yeah, I have pending. Where's another firewall? Wait, devices, device management. So the firewall is here, and why it's not appearing in the deployment doesn't matter. We'll check it later. Yeah, maybe because they don't have still we didn't configure the interfaces for it. Anyway, so deploy. Let me pause it. So it's done right now. Let's go to the policy. In the devices, yes, all is well. So let's go to policy to apply it. And let's see actually what policies we created before from the previous lab. So great. We have 3 policies we created before. Can I do this? Yes. In to out. This is for all. As you can see, the inside, DMZ, management, outside, and the source is any, destination is any, it's fine. But this is not secure at all. So let's add it, edit it, and let's be specific. So now if I'm talking about the inside zone, so let it to be in the inside zone. So my recommendation is remove the DMZ, remove the management, and be specific. You are talking about inside, so make inside to outside. Great. Network. Which network you want? I want the VLAN 10. VLAN 10 object. I don't know why it's appearing several times, but it's fine. From the source. Destination network could be so this is actually associated to the outside, so destination will be any, it's fine for that. So applications, ports, this is leave it aside, inspection leave it aside, logging, yes, already I enabled the logging, and press save. Okay, so now I modified it, the inside to the outside, and VLAN 10. Beautiful. And this is DMZ to management and management to DMZ. No, this is for the inter-VLAN routing. Leave it for the time being. So let's save and let's see that VLAN 20 now should not go to the internet. Let's make deploy. Okay, you see now it's appearing for you the 2 firewall. Why? because the VLAN 10 is override headquarter with the branch 1. And if you open down here, you can see access control policy, default policy, great. And here the same, because they are sharing the same default policy that we enable it, and inside it, it had the VLAN override. So click all and deploy. So now the minute warning. In to out, this rule uses zones that do not include interfaces from any of the target device. Traffic through these devices will never match. Okay, what is telling this warning will tell me that this firewall does not have interfaces like inside the zones inside and outside. So it will not, maybe it will not apply for it. It's true, actually, because I didn't fully configure it. Let me see deploy and see if it will pass it or not. And DMZ to management. Okay, now it's deploying. I will tell you the result in a while. So it's both now completed. Let's see the effect of this. So let me go to VLAN 20. Here the PC in VLAN 20. IP config. Okay, it's 192.168.20.11, great. Ping 8.8.8.8. No more going to the internet, but VLAN 10, this PC, should go to the internet. Cancel. CMD. IP config, still have the IP. Yes, it's VLAN 10. Ping 8.8.8.8. Great, it has an internet. So what we achieved right now is okay, this is the firewall that I have, and what we achieved is in the policies. So VLAN 10 is allowed to go, but VLAN 20 we did not allow it to go to the internet. Of course, as well as the management, because the management does not like have the same. So even if you go to here the management, I don't think that this will go to the internet. Let's try ping 8.8.8. Yeah, even the management, because we removed the management. So if I want to add the management, I have to make like an object. For me, and my recommendation, like for each VLAN or each not for each host, of course, for each VLAN, make a specific rule. Then you can control your network better. So what about DMZ, the server? Also should not go to the internet. Where is my server? Here. This is the server. So it's appearing that there is no internet from there, but to see ping 8.8.8.8. Yeah, great, because the server also in VLAN 30, so there is no internet. So by this you control better, like this is here, like better controlling that. Okay, yes, I'm allowing the VLAN. Then any inspection you want to make it, yes, you can make it one by one. So one by one we'll start like adding on the rule itself. So let's go back to objects. to see what we have more. Add object. Let's make a try by FQDN or the VLAN 20. I think I have VLAN 20, right? So let's take a benefit of VLAN 20. VLAN 20. I did a range for VLAN 20 as I guess. Well, I think I committed a mistake here. 192.20 to 21. Yes, I named it the same. That's why it appeared for us the same. So by luck, actually, we choose the right names. Okay. So let's allow now VLAN by this. So go to policy, go to access control. So I will add a rule. So this rule, I will name it VLAN 20 to internet. Okay. The action is allow. Yes, is allow. So the zone is from inside. Great. To outside. This is the destination. Then the network that I have is VLAN 20. Yes, VLAN 20 object. It will be source and destination will be any destination. I don't want to put any comment. Save. Deploy. Okay. Well, no, I don't want to deploy it in another one because I didn't override it. So close, remove this, make deploy. Okay, now I started to deploy. Great. Now DMZ will be allowed. So let me go to objects. Okay, before going to objects, actually, this is something all of us will know, but let me make sure that all of us know it. Here in the role that I have, so now I have several rules inside it, right? So these several rules actually, it's working from up to down. The hierarchical matching is from up to down. So what does up to down mean? So up to down, rule number one, it's from in to out. It's good if you want to change its name because it's now from VLAN 10 to outside, but it's fine. So the traffic will come. Now, for example, I'm pinging the Google. So I'm pinging from VLAN 20. Okay. And the first rule is associated with VLAN 10. So it will come, no, this rule not for me, it's fine. So it will go for DMZ to management, no, this rule not for me, so it will not touch it. Management to DMZ, no, this rule is not for me. So VLAN 20, yes, this is what I'm going, and it will do the action, and it will allow the traffic to go to the internet. Now, suppose the traffic came from VLAN 40 and we didn't assign VLAN 40 yet. So VLAN 40, no, 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 no. So it will go to the default action here. I can configure my default action for whatever I want, but if not, there is an implicit deny that we know in all access control policy in our life. That the implicit deny here is called access control block all traffic. Great. And if I'm pinging from VLAN 10 and the rule number one is associated with VLAN 10, so I'm pinging Google, so the traffic will hit here. Yes, this is for me. Okay, it will proceed with it, and that's it. So the minute the traffic match the policy, then the whole process is terminated. That it will match the policy, and that's it. So let's see what happened here. It's finished. Yes, it's finished. So right now, VLAN 20 should have an internet. Uh, this is VLAN 20. Yeah, there is an internet, and to make sure that there is VLAN 20 IP config. So this is now VLAN 20. So we did it actually for a range. So now this range from 10 to 20. So if we added a PC like with an IP address of 13, so it still can go to the internet because it's a range here. Host, we said that what is the host? So FQDN, let me check. So let's the FQDN to be in a separate video. The video became like very long. So because we need to define a DNS and we need to join the PC to the server, so listen to be in like a separate video. I hope it was like informative and helpful for you, and the lecture is very easy. So see you in next lecture. Thank you very much.